Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Victoria Rogers. I'm with the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce. Today we have Dorothy Grill. She's going to present. She's from ACE of NEPA. It's the Roadmap to Independence, Leveraging Community Resources to ACE Your Future. Any questions, please feel free to put in the chat in the bottom, and she will answer throughout. Dorothy, I'll check it for you and let you know if we have any. But Dorothy, thank you so much, and go ahead and thanks so much.
All right, thank you so much, Victoria. So as Victoria said, I'm with ACE of NEPA. We just rebranded. We were SLHDA. We rebranded back in July. So I'm here today. I'm their workforce coordinator. I'm just here to talk about the programs that my office offers for the community utilize. So all of our program requirements require that right now, anyways, that the individuals be Lackawanna County residents, at or below the 200% poverty guideline, which is that chart right there. So it goes by household size, and as long as they make under that yearly income, they qualify for our services. And then we also, as of right now, require the participants to be 18 years of age or older. So the programs that we offer, we keep on adding programs as we see the need. So we offer a vehicle repair program, we offer a workforce development program, a digital literacy program, the new transportation initiative, Rise and Ride, the Scranton City trash program, and digital literacy classes. So we'll talk a little bit more about each one that's there so that we can go more in depth in it. So with the vehicle assistance program, this is one we've been running since last November. We still have funds available. So with this, we're able to repair vehicles for individuals who need to get to work. So what this program specifically, we do require that the individual is working at least, someone in the household is at least working part-time hours. And they can qualify for services with an offer letter of employment. So they don't really need to have been at the job for a long time. We can qualify them with that offer letter. So what this provides is a grant, in essence, of up to $500 to get any of those car repairs done. We do have some garages we work with if the client's not sure if this is the first time it's broken. And I'm really super excited about this, that we just signed a partnership and understanding with Johnson College for the spring. So if a client comes into us with the bill being excessively over $500 and they cannot afford it, because again, we're working with low income individuals, we're going to be able to partner with Johnson College, get the car looked at up there, and hopefully get that cost down, because what they're doing is we're paying for the parts and they're going to have the students do the labor at no cost, which I'm super, super excited about. So then the transportation program, this is probably our newest program on the docket of services that we offer out of the office. So this is a partnership between our agency and Scranton Area Foundation, where clients will receive assistance with transportation to work and medical related appointments for a set period of time, depending on the situation of how much the client's asking you to use the ride share, like where are they going each day. So if it's someone going to work, we're going to support for a little bit and then put it back on them with helping them figure out how to get to work. So in essence, we're giving them the chance to earn some money to pay for like the bus pass or gas card or whatever the case may be. If it's something like just medical appointments and it's every once in a while, we will kind of take that into consideration and knock them off as quickly, especially if they're living on a very limited or not a lot of money. So with this, we can use it a couple different ways, like I said. So we can use it for medical appointments, job interviews, for use while they participate in the previous program that I talked about with the cars getting repaired, and then just general for transportation needs. So with this program, they do complete an application online. We assess the application to make sure they fit the income guidelines, and then a staff member reaches out to complete what we call a transportation plan, which just basically states, this is a short-term service basically, and this is how you're going to get around, in the future with it. So it's educating them, maybe they're new to the area, they don't understand the bus schedule, things like that. Educating them on how, they can get around without relying on the ride share. So currently for this firm, I have 2 drivers and 1 Chevy Traverse that we use. We are in the works with Scranton Area Foundation to be able to offer Ubers, gas cards, bus passes, things like that. This is a very short budget on this program though, because it is a pilot program. So our hope is we run it successfully. And in the 4.5 weeks it's been running, we've already shown that there's definitely a need for this service. And with the medical appointments, I do want to point out to anyone that's watching, that does include appointments for mental health or services required to maintain dealing with, recovery from a substance abuse. So our workforce program is one that we've been offering since last November. Like most places, we've seen an uptick in the last, few months with this program, where we had struggled kind of the first few months being out there with getting clients in. So with our program, we can work with job seekers in a couple different ways. If they're looking for part-time employment, so they're looking to supplement Social Security, maybe they have children at home, maybe because of medical issues, they can only work part-time right now. We could go up to full-time employment. So maybe it's just someone that got displaced, wants to go back in the workforce after being out for a while with COVID. Basically just they're looking for that full-time employment. We also can work with job seekers who are looking to advance to better wages by offering a combination of training, working with companies to get trained on the job, etc. So we can take individuals that are making minimum wage and get them up to more life-sustaining wages. The other cool thing we can do with our program is we can actually partner with college students that are looking for either additional training or apprenticeships or internships and get them placed as well. In addition to what we do with the workforce program, we have a digital literacy training program, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But basically with our workforce program, the really nice thing is when they come in and they apply for this program, they sit down with a staff member and we go through a screening tool with them to see what barriers they might be facing that maybe they don't even realize they're facing. So we do this in a conversation-based method. And basically, for example, we might sit there and say, tell us about yourself. Well, I have 2, children under the age of 12. Okay, how does childcare look for you going back to the work? So it's done very in a conversational method, not rapid fire questions, not, that they feel that they're getting pride into their life or getting judged for it. And we tell them up front, like, be honest with us, especially with things like criminal record and stuff like that, so we can place you accordingly. But then we can also have those discussions about maybe getting that expunged depending on what the charges are. So on top of that survey, we utilize that to, number one, get to know the client a little bit better and find the right place for them, but also to make some community referrals to other nonprofits who offer services such as financial literacy, clothing, food, whatever the case may be. So basically we can work with anyone over the age of 18. Again, sticking to that guideline, the 200% poverty line and the Lackawanna County resident. And basically with it, they come in, they work with us. And again, this is very individualized. So they might be with us for a month. They might be with us for a few months based on what their needs are. So like I said, they would apply online. They would meet with staff in the office, which we're located in the marketplace at Steamtown on the first floor, to fill out a needs assessment and talk about where they're interested in. The other cool thing about our workforce program is we don't fit in the boxes just because we have companies that have job openings in their field. We talk to the client about what their likes are, what their dislikes are, and we basically match them based on that. During their time with us, they complete an online job training course, which includes resume, cover letter, interview skills, job searching, etc., as appropriate, soft skills, communication, teamwork. anything that they're going to need in the field that they're going into. Like I referred to, clients are referred to community partners as needed to meet their needs, so childcare, financial needs, medical or mental health concerns, or specialized situations that basically might take a little bit more referrals up front to get them ready to work. So by the time that we're matching them with the companies and we're doing the staff outreach to our HR contacts on the client's behalf, they're ready for the workplace. We should not be hearing from them the day before a job. I don't know what I'm doing with childcare. I don't know how I'm getting there. We've already had those conversations with them and made sure we're getting them taken care of with the needs that they might have. And then the hope is that the clients will be interviewed. It's the same process as if they were picked for an interview from a general application. The only thing working with our firm is we're kind of getting them escalated to the top to at least get called in for the interviews. So it's on them once they are getting interviewed. There's no, contract with any of these companies that we have that states that they have to hire the individual on, and hopefully then they get the job. We've had some really nice success with some clients in the past, going from not working at all to jobs where it's like 20, 25 an hour, doing what they love. Even if it's not the highest wages, they're happy, which, is important as a workforce professional as well, that the client be happy in what they're doing. So our digital literacy is fairly new. We were funded back in the beginning of May. We received our funding from the Department of Labor and Industry. And what we look to do with this is working with community sites and businesses to teach digital literacy skills. So it could be as simple as, how do I get on a computer? What do I do with this thing in front of me? All the way out to getting certified in Microsoft Word, Google Docs, and PowerPoint. So we customize it based on the client's needs. Usually when we work with a community site, we usually offer 2 separate classes, if you will. So one for some basic computer skills, like how do I turn it on? How do I navigate a job board? How do I, get to Microsoft Office to start formatting that resume, things like that. And then a more advanced one where they can graduate into that, where we would go in more in depth into Microsoft Office and Google Docs. With it too, we do have the capability of running this in office as well as out on community sites. So through the grant, we were able to purchase 15 Chromebooks. The reason we went with Chromebooks is because if you look at the government assisted internet costs and buying a computer through that program, they're actually Chromebooks as well. So we're teaching them on the devices that they'll probably wind up with. And then also, if they can master that, they can definitely master a laptop that without an issue. We're definitely open to exploring partnerships with sites and customizing trainings as needed. And we have, like I said, the ability to bring the workforce program to sites anywhere in Lackawanna County. And our focus for this is really careers in manufacturing or the medical field. But like I tell people, there's not that there's workarounds around that, but that's still pretty encompassing, because even with like someone looking for a secretarial role, we could get them placed in a medical facility and train them under this contract. We do have some money for them to go to school as well built into the contract. We haven't had anyone yet that's taken us up on that offer, but we would be able to pay for some short-term training out of it. The other cool thing is we would be able to, we have some money in there for some support services. So if they needed something, be successful at a job or school, we could look at funding that for them as well. And then if they do take part in the Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, and Google Docs training, they do walk off with certifications that say they are certified in Microsoft Office and Google Docs. Our city trash program is another one that's fairly new to our office. So with this one, this is specifically for the city of Scranton. So we can pay up to 1 year of household garbage fees for a single family residence. And as you can see, priority, we try to get priority number one, to single family residents, but also to households that qualify for weatherization services. So weatherization is another part of our agency where they'll go in, they'll, take an audit of the house and basically see what is wrong with it that's running, energy costs high for the individual and making extremely cold or maybe even extremely hot in the summer. And basically we're giving priority to those families that, because they owe that trash bill, they're not eligible for that weatherization service. And that they must not have a balance greater than 700, which would be approximately like 2 years worth of trash bills, or an agreement in place to pay that balance to the past due city trash fees in order for us to fund this. So our hope is that we'll fund about 100 individuals with this program. And again, this is one that we definitely have money for. So again, if you have clients or staff members or anything that you think this would be beneficial for, please refer them to our website, acenepa.org, and then they would see the list of programs and they can go on, and it's a very short and painless application, I promise. Okay, so if anyone has questions, I would love to offer myself and my staff member, Zach, as resources, even if it's just like, hey, I think this client would be good for your program, but I'm really not sure. We could definitely, hop on a Zoom call, hop on the phone, go over email, and just basically, help you figure out if our program is going to be the right fit for the individual. Like I said, to wrap up, the only program that really has that work requirement is our car repair program. But we would be willing to work with someone that has an offer letter to get that car fixed prior to start. And also, besides the phone number and the emails there, if the clients just want to stop in the office, we're open Monday through Thursday, typically 8:30 to 4:30, and then Fridays 8:30 to 1. The only time our schedule changes, of course, is around the holidays. Like everyone else, we might shut early one day and be shut for the holiday, but that's it. Other than that, we do have staff here. And the nice thing with our office is the way we do our lunches. We have, during the office hours, we're not ever just shut completely down for lunch. So we do have staff members here that can help clients while other staff members are gone to lunch. So are there any questions?
Dorothy, I think this is great. I'm actually wondering, I mean, I hate to ask you to like do this all over again, but I think my name is Maria Onikevich. I'm with NAMI in Scranton, and I know, we've turned to you for some printing.
Yes.
In the past. Victoria, I don't know if you realize that they have a print shop there, and if you're going to if I have an opportunity to support another nonprofit over a for-profit, I'm going to do it. So I think all of the programs that you just talked about, I think would be really helpful for the folks that I work with to know. We have support groups and education programs for people who've been affected by mental illness. So sometimes some groups are for individuals with mental illness, and we also work with family members, friends. So anybody that's been impacted and needs support, needs information. I think a lot of these programs would be helpful. I'm thinking of some of the programs that I'm involved with in the community at different agencies, and I'm going to bring your information back and share with them. But I also would like to extend an invitation, maybe well, definitely sometime after the new year, for you to attend one of our groups. We meet virtually and in person, but one of our groups to share. I can certainly share this same information, but I can't answer questions that they might have. And so right. I would like to invite you. And my only 2 questions. Number one is that, would you, could we connect? I have your contact information. Could we connect, and would you be able to do that? And number 2, the digital literacy. I work with a lot of volunteers And I'm looking for ways to improve our communication with each other. We text, some of them reach out on Facebook Messenger, some of them, which I'd really like to get them comfortable with something, whether it be even like Google Docs, I think would probably make the most sense as a way of sharing information and connecting with each other. Maybe you and I can talk about coordinating some kind of training. I'm not sure if you had said you're open to partnerships with sites and customizing. So maybe something for my volunteers.
So definitely for the both of them, resounding yes. I would love to connect and see what we could do for partnerships with talking to your consumers, your clients, however you want to view them, but also then seeing how we could support you with the volunteers as well.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And I mean, I can make sure you have some information about my organization. I know you had talked about like barriers and some of the mental health challenges. While we don't provide any clinical services, we do provide, really valuable supports and information to folks. And so just making, maybe you and I can have a conversation about what it is we do and how we can be a resource, at least to some of the folks who you're working with, or at least so you're aware in the back of your mind if you see somebody who's struggling and we can help them out.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
I love this, the connections. I love it. I'm glad that this worked out well.
Yeah, I like when I see, I think our community is so rich in resources, and we really are, and so many. Scranton Area Foundation, the Chamber really makes such a good effort at connecting those, but we don't always know about each other. And I knew that I knew you did the printing, but all these other programs that you have, I think are exciting and worthwhile and a good thing for folks in the community to know about.
Great, I agree.
Yeah. I have your contact information.
Okay, perfect.
I will definitely reach out to you.
Awesome. Well, anything else before we get off? This was short and sweet, and I really appreciate all the information. I think it's untapped resources too, Maria. I agree. I think there's a lot that people don't know about. Maybe hopefully this can help with the outreach on that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think I think it will. I think the more folks that Dorothy can, and hopefully, you have the recording, hopefully folks who weren't able to attend can at least take advantage of the recording, because it is, I mean, when you think of somebody who has a job, but, really limited resources and their car breaks down,
right.
It can make the difference between having a job and not having a job, having transportation. And we don't realize, I think some of us take it for granted. We don't think twice about transportation being such a problem for some folks, but to have this resource is great.
I agree.
All right.
Well, thank you ladies so much. This started my Monday off awesome. So I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to hearing your connections in the future. And if I can help with anything, or anybody here in our staff, please let us know. And I hope people have a great week and great holiday.
Same. It was nice to meet you, Victoria and Dorothy. I'll be reaching out to you probably before the end of today, just to start an email conversation.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Have a great week.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.